Hello, ladies and gentlemen of my channel. I welcome you to yet another video. Haha. I think on this one, I have no clue what's the score on this one because I got it off of theater and theater doesn't tell you. I don't know if this is the one where I go 77-1 or I don't know. The score is high though. I'll tell you that. Yeah. So I thought, why not start off the channel again by explaining yet some more stories about absolutely nothing to keep you entertained. So, where I live, it's very chaotic. People are very panicked, if you would put it that way. People are always panicking in terms of illegal activity. Mainly because where I live, it's very dangerous. And the reason I say that is because I'm not gonna, actually no, let's just forget. Let's forget that part. But where I live, it's basically high murder rate, and shootings every week maybe. It's very dangerous, and for that reason, a lot of people are very panicked. I live in a street where one of the most dangerous streets in the city. So, it's not safe. And for that reason, people are always panicked. They're always panicking that probably the police are coming by, and that, other things like, sorry about my voice, by the way, and that, they're probably gonna get arrested or some shit like that, some stupid shit like that. And, there's a lot of things that go into that I take into consideration when thinking about these things, but that's like psychology, economic theories and all this stuff, and I don't want to get into that, maybe some other time, but I take into consideration a lot of things about these people, and it's very weird. It really is, because you can't even walk down the street without people looking at you and, sometimes asking you certain questions like, do you have a lighter? Do you have any weed? Do you want to buy some weed? Like the other day I had this person come up to me and ask me if I sell weed. I'm not sure if he was a cop or anything, but I'm like, bro, I don't smoke, And that's one of the reasons why culture is so important, because when I go to college, my college is outside of this city. It's in another city, but when I go to my college, people are like, where are you from? And when I tell them where I'm from, they're like, oh, so you've smoked, you've drank? And I'm like, I have never done that. I'm just me. I don't do that. And when I went to high school, a lot of people always, they were drinking and smoking, and a lot of problems happening in the school. And we had a bad reputation, basically. My mom actually did not want to send my sister to that school because of the reputation that it had. And, certainly it was very chaotic, I'm not going to lie. I remember one time when I went over there was a guy who took apart an iPod Touch. I don't know if it was broken or not. And he stuffed weed in it. That was a very smart way to store weed. That was very smart. But, and that's something that you don't see every day, and that's mainly why we had a bad reputation, mainly because of drugs, and, all these kids and gangs and stuff like that. And there was, I remember I talked to this parent, I think I was a senior, and I talked to this parent, and she was constantly complaining how these kids would always smoke weed in her front yard, and how she could do nothing about it because she was scared, and she had kids herself. And it's certainly daunting and very scary when even the civilians are very scared to approach these kids. And certainly there's nothing that many people can do to stop them, because a lot of the people are scared of everyone around the city. Even the police are scared of the people around the city. Let me give you an example. Like one time, this lady crashed in front of my house in a stop sign, and someone called the police, my friend called the police, and they never came. They never showed up. I think they showed up like a day later, but that was only to check whether the stop sign was okay. And it was very sad because the lady had a kid, and it's amazing what would have happened if the kid got hurt and the police never showed up. That is, I see all these court shows where people are like, why did you call the police? And I always picture myself in one of them being like, the police never showed up. And it's really hard to believe that the police will never show up because, they're supposed to protect you. But it's very daunting and very scary to know that even the police won't help you sometimes. And, law-abiding citizens are usually the ones that are left to suffer. But, anyways, back to the story. It's very daunting. It really is. And, even when in this city, when I walk around, I am always cautious because I've been jumped before a couple of times, and I'm always cautious. I don't carry any weapons or anything like that, but it's still very dangerous. And, even sometimes when we're walking behind someone, you have to kind of walk faster than them or walk slower than them because they'll always be panicked. They'll be looking behind, they'll think you're going to jump them or something, and, you either have to walk slower or you have to walk faster. And it's very awkward. It really is, because when you're walking behind someone, you're walking fast. They think you're gonna jump them or something, and they react in a very negative way. They look back, they get into a stance they clench their fists. I'm not. It might seem like I'm exaggerating, but really, I'm not a rich guy. I live in a poor neighborhood, so this neighborhood is filled with a bunch of chaos. Unfortunately, that's the way it's going to stay because, it's chaotic and it's sad. But really, there's not much me or anyone can do about it. It's the way of life. But yeah, all these stories are like really weird because these are stories that should never happen over a mild thing. Like here, if you tap someone's car, chances are someone's gonna die. Or because I remember one time I was driving. This has nothing to do with what I just said. This is just to give you an example of the chaos that goes around in my city. So one time I was dropping off my dad to his clinic, and when I was coming back, I was making a stop. I drive a big truck, so I was making a stop, and while I was making that stop, some cop flashed his lights, and I thought it was for me. I was like, oh crap, what did I do this time? And I made my stop fully. I didn't run or anything, but it turns out that it actually was not for me. It was for the guy behind me. And, I was about to turn so that I could stop, but as soon as I realized, before I could even do that, the guy just took off. And he almost scraped the side of my truck. The lucky bastard is sure as hell lucky he didn't, because I would have, along with that cop, I would have just chased his ass. No, I'm just kidding. But, yeah, he almost scraped the side of my truck, and the cop did the same thing, and he barely touched my truck. He almost scratched it, and I just had to stay there because there was another cop behind me, and if I ran along with them or gone in their direction or something, that's how panicked I was. I was like, maybe they'll stop me. I don't want that to happen. But this city is full of chaos. A lot of people on YouTube and everywhere come from all sorts of the world. The majority of people that I watch come from wealthy families or something like that. I don't come from a wealthy family, but I certainly try to make my way through. I try to get past every negative thing. I had some ups and downs in my life, but I'm trying to get over all of that, and I'm sure everyone has gone through some negative things in their life as well. So I guess this is just a message to say that you don't have it as bad. I probably don't have it as bad, but there's always someone out there who has it probably worse than you, and they're doing their best to get to it. So I'm pretty sure you can do the exact same thing. If I can do it, you sure as hell can do it. So that's all I had to say. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. It's just, like really long, but yeah, hope you enjoyed it.
Good impact on target. PDA to follow. Strike successful. Proceeding to initiation point.